rhythms. So this is a case called People versus McGraw. Let me share this because I do want you to understand. You said I unliked it so I could like it again. I'm trying to see your angle before I hit like. You just missed the whole lecture. What do you want me to tell you? Watch the replay. Don't get me wrong. I definitely want you to hit the like, but if there's one thing you're going to find out about Instructor Mike, I ain't kissing your ass for no like. I'm not going to do it. Okay? So I love it if you hit the like, but if you don't, motherfucker not losing no sleep. And I've been doing good. So good. I have not been cursing. Y'all know it's let's get to it. People make it seem like because you're a content creator that you got to kiss ass for likes. Boy, you fuck you talking about. Oh my God. Here we go. All right. So this case is called People versus McGraw. In this case, I'm going to sum it up. Oh, I'm sorry. The screen is not wide so that you can see. I'm going to sum this case up because I had a chance to read it in its entirety. I actually like the case. This is a case 13 Illinois 2nd Series 249, 1958. People of the state of Illinois versus Livingston McGraw. So in this situation, this was a Chicago Park District police officer. Park District used to have police officers back in the day. And so this was a situation where I believe Livingston McGraw was driving a garbage truck for the city. I believe he was working for the city or a private refuse company at the time. Neither here nor there. He was driving a dump truck through the city. And as he was going through the alley, he had scraped he had scraped a car. This car belonged to an off-duty Chicago Park District police officer. So the Park District police officer chases after the garbage truck in his civilian car, no lights, no nothing, pulls him over, and then commences to getting into a physical altercation with Mr. McGraw. The physical altercation resulted in Mr. McGraw being beat in essence by, yes, ego, being beat in essence by the police officer. And during that time, I believe he had seen like a revolver or something to that. It might have been the other way around, right? It might have been the other way around where, matter of fact, I'm sorry. Let me just go on ahead because I want to clarify this case. It's still going to prove the point, but I don't want to conflate the facts. So let me get to it. Okay, good. The indictment arose. We're reading right here, so I'm going to highlight it. The indictment arose for murder out of the undenied shooting and killing of Richard Rushhorn, a Chicago police sergeant. I'm thinking of another case. Following an altercation over a slight collision. Let's get to the facts of the case. Okay. The defendant was driving a bomber type city garbage truck south on Parkway, just south of 63rd Street by O Block in the city of Chicago. It wasn't called O Block in the 50s. Okay. Rushhorn, in plain clothes, was proceeding in the same direction in his personal Dodge automobile. Without the knowledge of McGraw, his truck scraped the rear fender of the door of his car, causing small damages, right? He was being pulled over by the police officer, right? Walked back to meet Rushhorn, right? Minor discrepancies of the testimony that happened at the time, right? Rushhorn became very incensed and began to accuse McGraw of deliberately swiping his car. It was denied by McGraw, who indicated they could straighten out the matter with no trouble. The cop, Rushhorn, became so aroused that he slapped and beat the defendant about the head, who later dropped to his knees. I knew something was missing here. McGraw said that Rushhorn had a revolver in his holster at his hip and a blackjack in his pocket. Those of you all who know, Chicago police officers used to carry blackjacks back in the day. Matter of fact, not just Chicago, but police officers used to carry blackjacks back in the day. Well, I don't necessarily agree with you, Shaka, but you're probably right. And we'll get to that, Nuke. We'll get to that in a minute. Please stay here because I want to engage you in this. So what we're explaining for those of y'all who just came in, we're explaining Illinois' stand your ground case law, not statute. And I'll explain to you the differences, right? So what happened is he begged the officer not to hit him again and suggested that he be arrested. No effort was made to give him a ticket. Now, bystanders were saying, come on, give him a ticket, give him a ticket. And what happened was McGraw was able to, wait a minute, hold on, wait. McGraw, after having been hit several times, told the cop that he would not be doing this if he did not have his gun. And that is something that is said to police officers. That has something that had been said to me, right? Oh, you would be big and bad if you didn't have that gun. Now, I would never do what Rushmore did from the beginning, but I definitely wouldn't have done this. Thereupon, the officer went to the side street of his car, or the street side of his car, took off his belt and his holster containing his revolver and placed him in the driver's seat. He returned to the front end of the car and approached McGraw, either again striking him or attempting to do so. A bystander then got between them and tried to play peacemaker. So what happened was McGraw went to the officer's personal car, got his revolver, and said, now I am in command. I am on the end of the gun, and now I've got the big stick. The defendant testified that he said, I've got the gun now. The crowd yelled too, he's got your gun. Rushhorn was at this point standing near the curb at the right front fender, and McGraw walked up from the left side of the car to a point near the left front fender. Despite the fact that a large crowd was attracted by the altercation, right, the state produced 2 eyewitnesses, but he obviously ended up shooting him. According to eyewitness testimony, and we're going to get to the point that shows that Illinois has stand your ground. This is the end of this. Joseph, I'm not going to pronounce his last name, I'm not even thinking right now, testified, a bystander, that he was in a parked car near the one here involved, that the defendant fired 2 shots, the officer fell on the ground, and then he later walked over and fired 4 more shots, emptying the 6-shot revolver. I knew I had Park District someplace. It was a witness who was a Park District detective. Neither here nor there. Let's get to the analysis of the rule that shows that we have stand your ground. The parties agree, which means the state and the defense, or the petitioner and the respondent, in this Illinois State Supreme Court case. The parties agree that the established rule with respect to self-defense is that when a person is in a place where he has a lawful right to be and is unlawfully assaulted by another and put in apparent danger of his life or great bodily harm, he need not attempt to escape, but may lawfully stand his ground and meet force with force, even to the taking of the assailant's life, if necessary or apparently necessary to save his own life or prevent great bodily harm. And this is in another Illinois case, Hammond versus People, 199, Illinois, 173, and People versus Durand, 307, Illinois, 611. So getting to the end of the case, the judgment of the criminal court of Cook County is reversed. The judgment is reversed, and Mr. McGraw was set free. So for those of you in Illinois who want to know, yes, Illinois does have stand your ground. And I will, of course, caption this, separate it, and put it on all my social media